to Just Minding My Business Radio, where we are moving at the speed of God, learning what we didn't know we didn't know. I'm your host, Ida Crawford.
And I'm your co-host, Ruth Haskins.
So grab a pen and paper and get ready for information that you can use.
Welcome to Just Minding My Business. I hope your day was full of the things you wanted to happen. Coming to the mic is Shawntia Lee, who has a heart for serving in the community and facilitating activities that bring people and resources together. Since 2007, Shawntia has been actively supporting college students in all capacities of enrolling in college, whether it is completing the enrollment application or deciding what courses and programs to enroll in. Shawntia's warm spirit and willingness to support allows her to connect with people in a special way. Shawntia is the founder of College Thriver Incorporated, which is a nonprofit organization that caters to the needs of minorities, low-income, and underserved individuals who academically excel but do not have the resources or the means to enroll in prestigious colleges and or complete college. So welcome, Shawntia. Welcome to Just Minding My Business.
Thank you. Thank you. So excited to be here.
Absolutely. Welcome. And of course, our audience want to know, how did all this get started?
Wow. So I don't know. It's kind of like, you run away from your purpose all your life, right? And then you fall right into the path that you're meant to be. So I'm a first generation college student. I was raised in like a rural country area. So, nothing but the boondocks is what they call it these days. And I just wanted more for myself. So, as a kid growing up, I was always bored and was like, man, I got to move somewhere where I can have opportunity and get the heck up out of here. So, no one in my family was really talking about college. I just knew that was the one thing that could actually free me from my circumstance. So, I decided at a young age I'm going to college. Soon as I hit 17 and graduated, as soon as I hit 18, I graduated on a Friday and my car was packed on Saturday to go to college. I could not take it anymore. Yeah. So it's so funny to see that, I'm birthing the exact thing that I wanted as a child, and that's what's amazing.
Wow. That's awesomeness. So tell us, through all of that, how did you come up with the idea of College Thriver Inc.? What drove you to bringing this organization into existence?
Well, so twofold, as a first-time generation college student in a rural area with no resources available, I had to figure everything out on my own. So it was very hard. I couldn't ask family and friends because they're like, college, what is college? I went to my local guidance counselor and she only had limited resources because it's like the trickle, downfall. You're from a small area. They don't have the budget. They don't have the funds. They don't have the resources. So how do you get free? How do you get out? So I'm solutions oriented and I figured out a way, and I was like, I don't care if anyone has never done this. I'm going to be the first and we're going to make this happen. So I ended up applying to FAMU in Tallahassee, Florida. And actually it was so funny because that was the only college I applied to. I said, if I don't get accepted to FAM, I'm not going to college. So I was that bold as a kid, and thank God I got accepted to FAM. And, started there, and it was probably the best experience ever because I really learned, that's where I learned that Blackness was so awesome and that Black people were excellent, because I came from a small country town and the population was outweighed for whites versus minorities. I had no idea how much swag we had as Black people, and that's where I learned about my culture.
Wow. Wow. That's interesting. That's very interesting because, a lot of times, I live in a predominantly Caucasian area myself. And, when I see a person of color, it's like,
You're
So
double looking.
I can understand where you're coming from. So what are some of the services that your company offers?
So the biggest thing that we offer that I think is going to be life-changing for any student who goes to college from beyond is when I went to school, because I was from a small area and I was the first one in my family, no one taught me about what to look for when it came to student loans. I was just basically so desperate and wanted to get out of there so bad. I just signed my name on any and everything. And I think that that's what students are doing these days because the parents don't know, the guidance counselors don't know, the schools don't know. And we are just very limited when it comes to, hey, you do realize that for the next 50 years of your life, you're going to have to be, paying this back. I wasn't aware of that. So the biggest thing that we're creating right now that I really think is going to disrupt the education industry and society is we want to roll out a student rewards program. So let's say you sign up under College Striver, you choose your college, you get accepted, we help you through the process. But where the game changer is at is when you get accepted into your college, you have to start filling out financial aid, right? So what we want to do is we want to launch a student debit card that actually rewards students for their spending habits. And this is so cool because, as a student, you're going to spend to get your comforter, your car, your this, your that. So what we want to do is we want to say, okay, while you're spending and you're swiping your card, we want a portion of your rewards to go towards your college tuition, your books, your boarding, your housing. So it's like first ever. I don't know anything out there like this where we reward students for spending, kind of crazy because when you're first going off, it's kind of expensive. So I said, what is a way that I can help these students get out of student loan debt while they're living just basic, essential, things that we need in life?
Wow, that's ingenious.
Thank you.
That is ingenious.
Oh, I think I was muted. I was saying that I think I can see where a lot of students and a lot of parents would be happy to hear that.
Yes.
Game changer.
I just need a big bank to sponsor this. And I'm ready to launch this. I've already started building some of the partners and I want to go really big with this. So even when it comes to housing, student housing, transportation, everywhere along the college process, wherever you're spending money, you're swiping. This is your new 401k because your 401k doesn't ensure that you graduate from college debt free. This will.
Oh, I love
awesome.
it. I wish
I
you
like
were
that a
there
lot.
when I started signing every piece of paper. Because I didn't know, like you, I was the first from my siblings who went to college. And, my parents didn't go to college, so they couldn't support me in the paperwork and any of that kind of stuff. So I was pretty much out there on my own.
Yep.
And, a lot of times the schools, they don't really have a personal interest.
No. Oh my gosh. That's it right there.
They want you to show up and pay your money. That's right. Really it.
They don't care where the money comes from.
Yeah.
They just want the money.
Exactly.
So I wish I would have had something like what you had when I was coming along, because I've been out of school 10 years. And like you said, it's 50 years with that student loan.
Wow.
Yeah. And you're literally running from it for the rest of your life. So I am here to disrupt the education industry. I'm here to shake things up. It's time to do things different.
I like that a lot.
That is awesome.
I
am hoping that people are listening because, everybody, when this is all over with, we're going to be back to, business as usual. And actually, with schools going online, a lot of colleges are online now. And let me ask you a question about that. Is the tuition cheaper if you go online?
So it really depends on, honestly, where you're attending and what type of school is. So I have worked for for-profit sectors and state schools. State schools overall, tuition is cheaper overall. But the thing with for-profit, they just have a quicker process because they're for-profit. So they are there to get the profit. So with the state schools, it does require jumping through hoops, resending documents 5 to 6 times. They make you work for that tuition discount. Trust and believe they really do. But So it just really just depends. But I have seen all type of schools, and I'll be hosting actually a webinar on the 19th. So anyone is welcome to join for all of the COVID funding opportunity scholarships. Pretty much this is an unprecedented time when it comes to colleges, because a lot of colleges have had to lay off staff, professors, and they need to still make their numbers, let's be honest. So how can they do that if they're used to you coming and touring? Well, now I see some colleges are actually doing virtual tours, which is pretty interesting. So I've had an opportunity to see some virtual tours. But yes, I've seen application fee waves. I see GRE scores wave, ACT, SAT testing wave. I haven't seen no full ride yet, but if you have, excellent GPAs, 3.5 and above, there are scholarships out there, ton of scholarships out there. And that's what I'm here to educate our minority, because like I said, sometimes we're just in a situation where we're so desperate to get out. We don't care how we get it. And that's okay to have that drive, but now, I'm paying for it years later.
You got that right. Like I said, I needed you.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of people needed you.
Yes.
I needed you, but that's one of the beauties of the times that we live in. There's a lot of innovative thinking going on.
Yes.
A lot of, as much as this is a crazy situation that we're all in, it is driving creativity. It's driving a whole new way of thinking and approaching different things. And this certainly is a totally different way of approaching things.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Do you know how many young people will be grateful not to have to go through what their parents are going through? Because, they're getting ready to head off to college, and they haven't even gotten there yet. And they're already saddled with $40,000, $50,000 worth of debt.
Yeah.
So,
And the cool thing about this is, and why it's so near and dear to my heart, is because minorities, we have $1.7 trillion in spending power. We keep the economy going, but we're always the ones suffering when it comes to ownership. And so that's what's really important. Like, the more students I can free by going through the college admissions process, the more things we can also own and pass down to and keep it in the generation. So that's one thing that minorities are also, lacking, just because no one ever taught us how to do it. But like I said, I'm here now.
All right. All right. So if people want to use your services, how do they connect with you?
Yeah, so actually, they can either follow me on Facebook at College Thriver. They can go on the website. It's www.college like the little dash Thriver, and that's THRIVER.org. You can put in a request through the website on Facebook. We're also on Instagram and Twitter as well.
Oh, okay. This is really great, because there's going to be kids coming out of high school.
Yes.
That are going to need these services. And coming out of a high school situation and going into college is a huge step, not only financially, but also emotionally.
Yes.
So let me just ask, how does College Thriver deal with the emotions behind entering into college?
So that's an excellent question. So what I've done as the #1 college resource for low-income minorities is I've actually partnered with companies who that may be their specialty and expertise. So one of the things that we have with our onboarding process is, once you actually are accepted into our program, we actually have the students selected with a student mentor, and she's awesome. She actually teaches yoga and mindfulness, which is so cool, and I'm so excited to bring that to the minority Black families, because I didn't learn about yoga and mindfulness until my 30s, and I'm already overwhelmed and stressed. So we want to catch them at a little younger age. I also noticed that a lot of students struggle with test anxiety. Like, they just can't pass those tests because they just have anxiety. It's not that they're not smart. So some of the things that we'll incorporate with the mindfulness and the yoga, hopefully this will calm down some of the anxiety. But I do have partnerships and companies that I refer, that we trust, and we know that they'll be a great, referral as well for our students.
Wow, that's a big piece.
Yes.
Are you, are you, the ones that you mentor, so to speak, or bring into your program, do they have to have a particular pathway? Do they have to be mathematical, science, or are they all across the board?
Yeah, so we want to actually help students all across the board. And thank you so much for asking that, because part of my initiative will also be rolling out a college readiness software. So what I realized is a lot of students, they choose a major or degree based on what someone has told them. They have no idea what they want to do. When I went to school, I was like, oh, I'm getting my degree in business. And I was like halfway done. I was getting ready to graduate. And then I found out this class called statistics. And I'm like, what is this? I cannot do no statistics, right? So actually, let me tell you, this is a true story, guys. I dropped the entire program and I lost like half of my credits to switch to another program. And I ended up doing a bachelor's in communication. So what I'm doing, I'm telling you, like, it's so funny because everything that I experience, I'm creating for someone so that they don't have to go through that. So we have a college readiness software. And what it does is when you get apply on my website, you're going to take a personality profile that's going to tell you your strengths. So you're going to know who you are at the core. And then what the software is doing is we are telling you, based on who you are at the core, these are the top 5 career paths you should pursue. Based on these career paths, these are the top 5 affordable colleges we found for you. So we are doing the work. It's already in the software. When I tell you this is a one-stop shop, you have no excuse why you cannot be successful once you come to College Thriver. There's no excuse.
Wow.
Okay.
That is awesome.
Another question. Is there an age limit? Is this only for young people coming out of high school?
Thank you. So right now we do cater to around, I would say 16. So we want to start like from the 10th grade, like I said, to kind of maneuver some of those challenges. And right now we're servicing up to 26, but as we grow and as we expand, I can definitely add another sector to where I can hire some people to handle those who are post, whatever, 30, post 40. I even have students right now, because like I said, I work in a for-profit, who I talked to a lady the other day who's 73 and she's getting her doctoral program right now. So there is really no age limit to education. It's just right now what we're able to serve, and I want to serve 100%. We're able to serve at that, but we will grow in the future.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will.
Question, Ruth, because I really got serious about college later in life.
Yes.
And I had already been out of high school over 20 years. When I started college. So I had to learn how to focus. Every time I would open that book, I would fall asleep. Literally. So I had to learn how to focus in that way. And it was a struggle. I'm here to tell you, it was a struggle because I had been out of school. I've been working. I'm in the IT field, so I read and do. That's how I learned. It's all about reading something and then doing it and then reading it and doing it. But in college, a lot of the classes are just reading, like say, for instance, English. And then I was working a full-time job and going to school. So some of the classes, I would immediately go to sleep as soon as I walked, as soon as the class started. So how do you help like the older ones? It's kind of like, I know that's coming, but what's your insight on how to help people with that kind of thing?
Well, falling asleep, that's a little beyond my powers. That's interesting. I would say just like maybe just give them small tips to take breaks in between, because what it is you're trying to force yourself to do it all in one sitting. So like when I get bored, sometimes I'll get up and I'll play music. I'll get on Pandora. That'll spark my inspiration. So maybe right now we can just provide, tips and tricks to, excel in online, which I did my entire degree online. So once again, everything that I did is like coming back full-fledged. Yeah. I did my entire, undergrad online. Well, after I left FAMU, because of course that was campus, I was there for 2 years, and then I finished up my degree online.
Wow. I did
So,
everything in the classroom, actually.
Yeah. No, I did everything and I loved it.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. This has been very, very interesting. And your organization is definitely unique in that what it offers. And I think that emotional piece is huge because coming out of high school, going into college, it's night and day.
Mm-hmm. When I went to college, it was the same thing, that emotional piece. Scholastically, I was ready in every way. That was not an issue. But boy, being away from home and having to deal with people that I didn't know anything about, having to be surrounded by people that I didn't know anything about. And I had a fairly sheltered upbringing. So it was like very, very strange. And I remember I called home every day for about 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I called home every day because it was very overwhelming. It was extremely overwhelming. And it was, it was one of those situations. You could count the number of us on the whole campus, and it was like 1 out of every 500 on campus. So it was extremely overwhelming. That's all I could say. And emotionally, I remember just sort of hiding, getting to classes and doing that. And even that is a big part for young people going to college, which is something that maybe you will address also. They're going to be possibly going to school online, but for those who actually go to physical school, just maneuvering a campus and trying to get to your classes on time, that's part of a nightmare that you have. I know I did. It was like I missed my class. I didn't know, those kind of things. That's part of the emotional thing too, about being afraid you're going to miss your classes. You're not taking all the classes you're supposed to. Yeah, there's a lot of craziness that goes on. It's a huge transition because suddenly you really are responsible for yourself. You are responsible. Nobody else there to say, get up, get dressed, get to class. And if your class happens to be on the other end of the campus and you wake up and you're 10 minutes late, it's nobody's fault but your own.
Yeah. Or like me, not following rules. So I would park in professor spots and have a ticket on my car.
Oh, Lord.
I was a rebel.
It's little things like that make that there's an adjustment. Even though I don't know if it's true now, but the whole freshman, upperclassman kind of thing, where you can't use certain parts. I know in my time, it was certain parts of the campus that you couldn't use, certain parts of the cafeteria that you couldn't use. It was a whole lot of nonsense. But, they were serious about it. They were serious, and you found yourself in the wrong place at the wrong time. It was not necessarily pleasant. You were told to get up and move. Sit down at the wrong table in the cafeteria. It's like, you're a freshman, right? Yeah. Get up. So it's just a whole lot of different things, but it's exciting. And I'm so happy that there's someone available who's going to make it possible for so many, who really has a desire to make it possible for so many to go to college. And even before they make that move, to learn who they really are. Because too many people go to college and they end up with the degree that they don't want. Nope. They can't use, they have no passion for it. This way, people will get to know who they are. Maybe they don't want to go to college. Maybe there's something else that they want to do. And they can find that out before they dig themselves into debt.
Yes.
And that's find out that they're miserable.
Yeah, and that's what this is all about, because I do have several friends who have a degree. I have a friend who has a master's and she works at Family Dollar. She makes $15 an hour. That's unacceptable. I mean, unfortunately, people do get caught up in situations for whatever reason, but that's unacceptable.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, that is unacceptable. That's a lot of money and a lot of time.
Yeah.
And the whole college thing, it can be frustrating. It can be a whole lot of stuff all balled up in one,
You're trying to learn, you're trying to pack in so much information, and you have that thing behind you, I'm paying for this. This is costing money. money and, like you said, time. And so there's all of this pressure that goes into it as well.
Yeah, it's a
And
lot
so
of
when you
pressure.
do make a mistake like that, oh yeah, it can be devastating.
It was
you know?
devastating for me.
Yeah.
It was devastating. And for me, I already had a family, a full-time job, and all of that, so it was like I wasn't coming from my mom's house. I am the mom. So it was definitely an experience, but I am so grateful that God gave you your vision, because so many kids need that. And, the financial piece, supporting them to stay out of debt, because a lot of times college students are targets for debt.
Yeah.
That's true.
And they don't even have a job.
Right. And people are just shoving credit cards into their hands because you're in college now. And, adults don't know how to use credit cards. Never mind a 17 or 18-year-old who's given a credit card. And unfortunately, not only are they on campus with a credit card, but they're near, let's say, those who in New York City, on Long Island, they're a hop, skip, and a jump from Manhattan. With a credit card at 18, that's nothing but trouble. That's nothing but trouble.
Well, not until College Thriver comes out, because now when they swipe, they'll be paying off their student debt.
There you go.
That's the new twist. I love it. For sure. So let me just ask you one other question. Just give us a little scenario of what the entire process could look like for somebody coming into your program.
All right. So, let's say May. Well, we'll just use May. Yeah, it is some last minute students. So let's say they're like, okay, Mom, I've decided I want to go to school. So they Google, hopefully College Thriver comes up number one. They're going to go on the website and they're going to read the information where we say, hey, we'll walk you through from beginning to end. We're going to remove the obstacles. We're going to help you navigate through the whole process. And they're going to apply because they're like, yes, this is last minute. I don't have time to play. Let me go ahead and hire these folks. So when they apply, their information comes through on the website. I get the alert and I immediately reach out and schedule an appointment. So we want to have at least a phone call, at least to find out, hey, where are you in the process? What is your GPA? What are some things you're doing? Tell me how you're so outstanding. What colleges are you looking at? So when I say we really go into detail, this is a really customized approach. Now, once we go over all that, we'll have them log into the portal. They'll do the personality assessment. We'll go over the results with them because everything will be in the portal. So they'll have their strengths and they'll have their career paths that they should pursue. And then we'll also have the list of colleges. So we want to meet with them once again because we want to say, hey, what did you think about the material? Take some time to digest it, get on the phone with them and the parents. And then hopefully by then they're like, man, this is perfect. I can't believe this. And some of them will probably be already in alignment with what they wanted to do. The difference is we're going to show them, hey, based on the career path you chose, this is your expected salary. So that's something that we're doing different. We're showing the career with the salary because we don't want these students to waste time like I did. And like when I went to school, I thought I wanted to be an elementary school teacher until I found that they only made $30,000 a year. And I was like, no, that's not for me. So we want to show them everything up front because people are not doing this. And that's how they're getting caught up in situations. And, here I am, me and my husband, we just got married. We are ready to buy a house. And they pulled my credit and they said, unfortunately, you can't go on there because your student loan debt will mess up your debt to income ratio. And I was crushed. I have good credit, but I don't have the ratio for the student loan debt ratio to be able to get on this first house with my husband. So like I said, those type of things have prepared me. So once they do that, hopefully they've accepted their college. We're going to go through the process and then we're going to go one step further. Hopefully they have great grades and ACT, SAT. If not, we have companies already within that are offering discounts for our students. So this is amazing because we want to make this process as affordable as possible. We've already vetted companies who offer essay prep. We already vetted companies who offer ACT, SAT. Some of these things are free. Some of these are just discounts. Some of these are referral So we're basically doing the work for you. We're taking out all of the obstacles, and our goal is to be the number one resource. So when you in Florida, Georgia, wherever, South Carolina, Hawaii, when you start thinking of, man, I wish I had a college resource, you're going to think of College Thriver.
All right. Now, once the student has gone through that piece of it and they're in college, okay, so let's say they're in their second year.
Yes.
Okay, do you follow them throughout the entire process to graduation?
Excellent question. So right now we have the capacity to stay with them for the first year. That's where we are right now today. We would love to be able to follow them all the way through the process, because I will be honest with you, minorities, we do have the highest dropout rate. That was one of the things I wanted to improve. That's why I have a student mentor. But right now we do have the capacity for that first full year.
That first year is definitely critical.
Yeah, the first year is critical. As we grow and then we expand, and we will definitely be growing and expanding, I'm going to add all these verticals that you're asking about. But as today, I just want to be realistic for what we're able to do.
It's foundational. You're beginning this. You have to grow, because the people that you help are going to help you to grow. They're going to give you more ideas, and you're going to find that as you solidify one portion, something else is going to grow out of it. It's going to be an absolute positive growth. I can see that.
Yeah.
And I just really thank you so much for the work that you put into this, and for the concept, and just getting it out there. This is so valuable for so many young people and for their parents, because no parent wants to know that their child is going to be saddled forever with debt. Like you said, the whole housing situation, how will they be able to progress in life? They'll have this degree and they'll still be stuck. It's almost what you would call, I guess, an oxymoron in a way. You're going to do all this work and then you can't go anywhere. Like you said, this person who has a master's working in Dollar Tree at $15 an hour, that doesn't even compute.
Right.
It does not compute at all.
Saddled and the crazy thing about it is there's nothing being done about it. No one is saying, this is crazy. So I'll be the one. I've always gotten in trouble since a kid for being outspoken. So
okay.
Well, we love you being that way, because you're going to save a lot of lives. So again, how do people connect with you?
Yeah, so please come and follow me on Facebook, College Thriver. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Come to our website. We're hosting, actually, I would love to tell our listeners, we're hosting a 2020 Get Lit graduation bash for those students who are not able to walk across stage. And right now, my nonprofit is doing a fundraiser to come up with money to have them celebrate virtually graduation. So this is June 27th. I'm going to host it they're going to do a TikTok competition where they're going to be dancing with their cap and gowns. We're going to have Spirit Week where I give them activities to do. And whoever has the most participation, we're going to be giving away scholarships and prizes.
Oh, wow.
Fabulous.
That is
right.
Very
fabulous. One thing about me, I always love to have fun. I was always a social butterfly, life of the party. This is going to be all over my events and my nonprofit, and it's going to be all because that's who I am.
All right.
Awesomeness. Well, we are definitely grateful that you said yes to talking to our audience about this, because I'm sure there's people out there that have children that are getting ready to start college, or even getting ready to start themselves. So this is really good information, and we truly appreciate you sharing, for sure.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
And we'll definitely share your information on our social platforms about what you have coming up in the near future.
Yes, and if you can send me this recording, I would love to share it with my audience as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you again, Shawntia. We appreciate you.
All right. Have a blessed one. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Word on the street says there's something new at Just Minding My Business Media. You've heard our podcast, Just Minding My Business Radio, that brings news and views you can use. That airs every Thursday at 6 p.m. on iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, and Spreaker. Well, now you can watch Just Minding My Business. That's right, Just Minding My Business Media now has a TV presence on Raven International TV Network, broadcast on Roku, Fire, and Apple TV. Your business, through Just Minding My Business Media, has exposure on internet radio, major social media platforms, and now TV, through Just Minding My Business dynamic digital marketing platform. Don't listen to the word on the street. Hear it for yourself. Visit jmb.assistercircle.org to learn how you can take your business, your vision, to the next level. Thank you to the amazing women of A Sister Circle Empowerment Network, ASCEN LLC, and our media partners. Let Just Minding My Business Media promote your business. For information, visit us at jmb.assistercircle.org. That's jmb.assistercircle.org. Voiceovers by RCH VoiceWorks, for when you want to be heard. Call 443-620-4115.
Thank you for tuning in to Just Minding My Business Radio. I'm your host, Ida Crawford.
And I'm your co-host, Ruth Haskins.
We hope you enjoyed the show and appreciate you stopping by. Many blessings to you and yours.